Today I'm going to show you how to remap your Surface Pen buttons to do pretty much anything you want on your computer. By default, the Surface Pen settings allow for a good amount of customization, but you can't do absolutely everything. If we go to the Windows settings and look for Pen and Windows Ink settings, then you can see under the Choose What Your Shortcut button does, we have a list of a few different programs by default, as well as the ability to open any program or open any app that's installed on our computer. This is fine for most circumstances, but I recently found myself wanting to do something slightly different from that. I wanted to open voice typing when I press the pen button. Unfortunately, voice typing itself within Windows 11 isn't a program or an app, so there's no way of actually opening it with this settings menu. So at the moment, I've got my press and hold set to open the camera. If I press and hold, you can hear the pen buzz, the camera app opens. But I want that to actually activate voice typing. So the first thing we're going to do is under the press and hold section, instead of opening an app, we're just going to set it to do nothing. If you wanted to change the single click or the double click, of course, you would select those options. For me, I want press and hold. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to install an official Microsoft application from the Microsoft Store that's going to allow us to extend the functionality of the computer. So I'm going to go to Start. I'm going to go to the Microsoft Store. I'm going to go to the search bar and I'm going to look for Microsoft PowerToys and select that application. Once you're on this screen, you'll click on the Get and Install button here. I've already got it installed. So once it's installed for you, we can close the Microsoft Store. We can also now close the settings menu and we can go to the Start menu and search for PowerToys. Alternatively, you can go to the Start menu, go to all your apps, scroll down to the P section and find PowerToys here. Click on it to open it. Now, if this is your first time running PowerToys, you're probably going to get this Welcome to PowerToys splash screen. If this comes up, all you need to do is scroll down to the keyboard manager. By the way, PowerToys has a lot of different functionalities that you might find interesting or useful depending on how you use your computer. But for today, the only one we need is Keyboard Manager. Once you click on Keyboard Manager, we can open Settings, and this will take us to the PowerToys settings page. And under the Input-Output section on the left, we can see Keyboard Manager, and we can see the settings for it on the right here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to enable Keyboard Manager. What this is going to do is it's going to turn on a functionality within Windows that allows us to remap keys on the keyboard to act as different keys or shortcuts. The reason this works for the pen is because when you press on the pen button, it actually counts as a function key. The function keys are the F1, F2, F3 keys on your keyboard. Usually on a keyboard, they only go up to about F12, but actually Windows can recognize much more than that. And they've assigned these different button inputs to different function keys behind the scenes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here, we're going to remap a key. The remap keys window comes up. We're going to tap on Add Key Remapping. On the left, we've got the key or the input that we want to use. And on the right, we can select the action that we want the computer to perform. So on the left, we're going to tap on the Select button. It's going to come up with Select a key on selected keyboard. Well, in this case, we're not using a keyboard, but we're using a pen, but it'll work anyway. If I press and hold the button, you hear the pen buzz, and now it's selected F18. So Windows 11 in the background, behind the scenes, thinks this pen button, when you press it, is actually the F18 key. If you were going to use the single click or double click of the Surface pen button, there would be different keys. For example, single click is coming out as F20, double click is coming out as F19. For me, I want the press and hold. So press and hold, the pen buzzes, and we've got F18. I'm going to click OK. Now on the right, this is the action that we want the computer to perform. We've got a selection between send key shortcut or send text. Send text is almost like having a piece of text copied to your clipboard that you can then paste. So for example, if I wanted to enter my email address really quickly, I could select send text, put in my email address, and then every time I press and hold the pen button, it would paste my email address in. But for today, I want to activate voice typing. So I'm going to keep it on send key or shortcut. We're going to tap on select, and here's where we need to go to the keyboard. For me, voice typing is the function that I want to use, and the way to activate voice typing in Windows is with the Windows H keyboard shortcut. You can also use the touch keyboard microphone button if you've got that enabled. So what I'm going to do is with the select the keys in the shortcut window open, I'm going to press the shortcut that I want to use for voice typing, Windows H. You can see the keys selected are Win H. That's fine. So I'm going to press OK. And now that that's done, we can just click OK at the top. We're going to get this warning that we've unassigned F18. In a certain sense, Windows now doesn't know how to deal with if we press F18, if there was any other F18 function already assigned. In our case, if you remember, F18, aka the press and hold button, was currently set to do nothing in our Pen and Windows Ink settings. We did that at the beginning. So that doesn't matter. We can continue anyway. And now we're done. We can see under the keyboard manager, we've got keyboard manager enabled on, and under the keys, we've got F18 mapped to Win H. So we can close this and close the splash screen. And now if I open up a text field, I'm just going to go to Notepad. You can see Notepad is opened, we've got a text field, and now if I press and hold on the Surface pen button, the voice typing module has come up, and you can see that in Notepad, it's taking what I'm saying and it's putting it into the text field. If I want to stop using voice typing, I can just press and hold again. And you can see the microphone is deactivated and it's no longer listening to me. Hope this helps and hope you have a lovely day.